Everybody, Resmetter here, and welcome to part 2 and the finale of Umineko, the last note of the Golden Witch. So it is like a little bit of a mini episode where a new witch named Peace has shown up, and we have to try and figure out who she is. But I already kind of have an idea of who I think it is, but there could be like a big heel turn at the end. So far, she has the ability to completely like swallow up characters and erase them from existing. So we have so far Angie and Kiri have been swallowed up, and then Kenzo, Genji, Shannon, Cannon, and Beatrice are also erased from this board because Peace says that in this world they don't need to exist, or they can't exist. So that's a big hint about who that could be, of who Peace is. So we're going to find out the answer. Really excited to finish this off, so without further ado, let's get back into the story.
まんまと思考を絡め取られたようだな。とても重要な何かを聞き出せたとは思うけど、そこに思考をとらわれては意味はないわ。他の角度からのアプローチも必要よ。ああ、そうだな。あんたのその小バカにした笑い方。私はずっとある人物を
Oh, it reminds her of someone.
それは誰だ？私は動機の線ではなく、あくまでもこのピースという魔女の雰囲気やイメージから連想を探していた。私は誰？
Maybe Erica? Because she even kind of looks like Erica. She's got like the same hair, just... Right? Yes, it is. She's thinking of Erica. My comrade. Maybe this is a version of Erica? I don't know how Erica factors into this, but... There she is.
これは心外ですね、同志エンジェ。真実の魔女たるもの、知的さと優雅さを兼ね備えていて当然です。それで、そこの品のない駒の魔女とやらが、この私にどうそっくりなのでしょう。そっくりも何も、そのものだと思うけれど。それでは伺いましょうか、同志エンジェ。あなたの紡ぎ出した真実を。まさかあいつが現れるとはな。そなたの妹は反言の魔女であるぞ。エンジェが望めば生死を問わずそれはいる。ただしそれは反言の魔女自身にしか認知できない。他者には認識できないが、それを理由に否定することもできない。それが反言の魔女の反言。要するにエンジェが脳内に自在に召喚できる仮想人格、分割並列思考というわけでですね。奇妙な魔法でピー。フルドエリカは六軒島に漂着し得た唯一の招かれていない客人よ。ハロウィンパーティーに突然現れた。
Yeah, I was thinking like at the beginning, and she even showed Erica look like her for just a moment when she first showed up to the game board.
後ろ見合って犯人説を否定した方々に愛されてやまない真実の魔女にして招かれざる名探偵とはこの私のこと。フルドエリカが本来はどのような人物なのかは定まっていない。分かっているのはプレザーボードの選択肢
Oh, Angie. I love it.
しかしこの私が魔女のゲーム版に登場した時には一つの人格を持っておりました。
An intellectual rapist. It was a disgusting nickname. That was an intellectual supremacist who looked down on others and who got the greatest joy from intellectually violating people. If she was insufferable as a person, as she was in the game, I wouldn't be surprised if someone just pushed her over off the boat. I just love the idea that Erica is just so annoying that within like less than a couple of hours of meeting her, they're like, we need to put this girl in her place. During the party, the family was very excited from all the puzzles and quizzes. That's the appropriate faces people make when she shows up. She's like that kid I think everybody knew in school who just like answer all the questions and who would be like, hey, you forgot like to give us homework. Oh, I love how she's just like interpreting it. For example, Mom and I suddenly disappearing. The next morning, Dad and Oni-chan would ask Erica about it, and Kyrie would jump out as a prank. In order to startle and tease her. This crazy story had undeniably appeared in one of the past game records. Whether it was a reasonable motive or not, even if it was presently one-sided, there was nothing to block Angie's logic. Doesn't that sound like a nightmare? Peace and Erica coming to your party. I love that she embraces it though. She knows she's annoying. So far, I feel like this episode has just been 20% just witches cackling. That will explain what you just said with Red Truth. For several of the victims, I was originally going to allow them to live. However, because of their circumstances, they cannot stay on the game board. What this refers to clearly is Erica's perfect autopsy. For this woman who calls herself an intellectual rapist, somebody who is an intellectual inferior challenging her with a mystery is akin to blasphemy. She would fly into a rage, and by way of that perfect autopsy, would change the fate of this silly play. Is it though? Nah, I feel like we're still too early for this. Yeah, I feel really dumb. Last episode I talked about like how certain people didn't need to be pieces on the checkboard, and I was like, but how does Kinzo? I was like, of course, Kinzo, they don't have to pretend that he's alive. if this isn't Beato's game.
その心など無視してこのゲーム版より抹殺したわ。この名探偵を狂言で試そうとした大罪に対する怒りを示しているのです。名探偵を
Peace is totally gonna knock them down and be like, nope, wrong.
記されし、神を試してはならないにさえ等しいこと。これは私への冒涜に対する当然の神罰なのです。
I know I keep talking about how annoying Erica is, but she's annoying in an entertaining way. I like her. But at the same time, she drives me nuts. This is a trivial... What is this? What do they say? Oh, it's possible. It's like a trivial for the likes of it. Angie and Erica stood back to back while pointing their index finger at Peace as if to condemn her. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Even though two people were pointing at Peace, she didn't lose her calm smile. The other version of Angie, the Witch of Truth, while showing off a wink with their signature pose, scatters as a faintly glowing swarm of butterflies. That's not, is it? That's wrong. She didn't even run it by Beato and Badler. Just spoke off the cuff. Yeah, exactly. They're like, damn it, Beato, why'd you have to say that? Too bad they don't have unlimited chances to guess. Angie's very confident in her answer. Now they're going to be fighting amongst each other, be like...
本当にエリカ犯人説で良いのか？他にある？犯人が人間に限定されるというのならば、そなたの答え、最もと思う。しかし、今回は魔女幻想の住人が犯人である。
Oh, is that true? Oh, that, geez, yeah, that's a lot of people then.
ラムダのお友達の化け物とか、フェザリーヌの従えてた黒猫たちとか、あるいはベルンカステルやらラムダデルタやら、何でもありになるじゃない。そうとも。何でもありとなる。だからこそ、この人物ならば可能だという言い方ではおそらく、真実は暴けまい。どういうこと？
可能な人物が複数いる状況では、可能であることが犯人である証拠にはならないってことだ。それに、ピースは最初に赤き真実ではっきり明言している。私はエピソード1からエピソード
Well, that's making me a little bit less confident in my answer from last episode, now that there could be so many potential people, including the, like, all of them, not just actual people. I feel like my guess still kind of, like, given what we've been told so far, makes sense, but I don't know.
それで私はフーとハウから探り、最も確率の高い人物名を挙げた。
それじゃダメなんだ。確率が高いじゃ推理にならない。こいつしかありえない。そこまで研ぎ澄まして初めて推理なんだ。
We don't have a lot of time. I mean, we're already halfway through this entire episode. Angie is also intelligent, but she has the same weakness her brother does, which is that she's easily clouded by emotion. So when the reasoning she built up was denied by two people, it took some time to regain her composure. Everybody, each of them are going to throw out their reasoning, their person, and then they have to agree on it. Oh my gosh, yeah. So I might be totally wrong. Okay. Be wild if it ended up being like one of the witches. Okay, alright, let's see what she has to say. Right? It's something like more personal. And this is what I'm talking about with the motive. Like, my assumption about who did it's like the fact that they targeted specifically Angie and well, no, they targeted more people actually now that I think about it. But yeah, they targeted like Kiri and Angie first. In Battler's eyes, this was no joke or laughing matter, and Angie realized she had misspoke.
魔女のゲームはな、何でもありだ。考えるのがバカバカしくなりそうなくらいに異常で狂ってて常識外れでイカれてる。だから絶対にないがしろにするな。心を。
The witches are ridiculous. They have absurd powers they can use as they please. But they only have one, just like a baby or an animal. It's bugging me.
心が伝えられねえんだよ。シンプルな言葉で素直に喋れねえ天の弱なんだよ。それなのに人の心を求めて人に近づかずにはいられない。なのにそれを素直な言葉で示せない。バカで間抜けでどうしようもなくかわいそうな連中なんだよ。
This is why you can't treat the witch's game carelessly. Now he knows that from experience.
それでも精一杯拙くても必死に書き上げたかけらを考えるだけ無駄だとか絶対に言うんじゃねえ。
かなわぬな。バトラにかかれば千年の魔女のメッセージボトルも小学生が初めて書いたラブレター扱いであるな。
I don't know if your words are spoken from the mouth of a human, or from the mouth of the Lord of the Golden Land and husband of the Golden Witch.
我が主の命令とはいえ、私はここへやってくるのが本心で億劫でなりませんでした。来たところで何も得るものなどない。むしろきっと自分で自分を嫌になるような思いをするだけだと思っていたからです。
However, this was worth doing.
そのような言葉を聞けただけで、私は今日ここに魔女の使いとして来た甲斐がありました。
ベアと、そしてピース、それから出会ったことのない無数の魔女たちに謝るわ。それにすでにあんたははっきりと赤で宣言している。この事件にははっきりとした動機と心があるとね。 取り乱してふてくされてしまった自分が恥ずかしいわ。
So it's not just witches just playing a fun game.
それでこそバトラの妹らしくて小気味よい。でもホワイダニットで答えに迫る方法は一度挫折したんじゃなかったの？
そうだな。少なくとも人間に限った容疑者に対してはな。
何でもありの魔女たちから本気でホワイダニットを人の心を
Probably if you find out. Oh, the how done it. Yeah, not the why done it. I mean, with the why done it, you can probably figure out who the person is based on their motive, but the how they did it. Even though they've become witches, they still want to get close to others, so they keep the forms of humans. If they earnestly look down on humans and lose interest in them, they will stop having any form, let alone a human form. They quickly end up as scraps of seaweed. They sink and scatter in the sea of fragments, becoming a snowflake in the abyss of oblivion where the sun never shines. We get to see Wright. We get to see Willard again. He is undeniably a witch killer. My omnipotent master still hasn't forgotten that human, Ushurmi Badler. That's right. All the ghosts of witches want to be defeated like that, with the eulogy, so they gather. I hope we get a Will special appearance, like Rokuchima's Beatrice.
すべての魔女への大罪でピス。
やらんぞバカ。
私程度に潰される程度ならバトラ君はあなたにはふさわしくありません。
面白い。試すかババア。
二人には自由に推理を楽しませてあげましたが、お前にそんなゆとりは与えません。
I don't know what is offended or upset Peace, but I can certainly feel the invisible sparks quietly flying between Beato and Peace.
何が二人を駆り立ててるの？
だがこれでいい。これでこそアルバルと虚無の海を渡ってここまで来てくれた彼女に最もふさわしい艦隊だ。
Now, Beatrice, my golden brains, rip it open. This woman, this witch of the peace, rip her open. That's right, what Badler said is correct. Witches are lonely, and yet they're clumsy, stupid idiots who can't communicate that. All they have to say, I'm lonely, please give me some attention. But they're so crass and inconsiderate that they fill 1,000 bottles with redundant stories that take 1,000 years to read and release them into the ocean. And the big idiots wait on the beach for someone to read it, even if it takes anyone 1,000 years and 1,000 times over for them to decipher it. I'm going to tear you open, and then I'll accept your message. Why did Kyrie, Angie, Kinzo, Beato, Shannon, Cannon, and Genji have to disappear? She said in order for me to enter this game board, there were pieces that shouldn't exist. What does that mean? We deny fantasy. I'd interpret it as an unshakable intent to kill them, maybe even against the rules entirely. But since this is a witch's game, maybe there's another way to interpret it. For example, we cannot appear in front of those who possess the anti-magic toxin.
しかしお前たち以外にそんなルールを持つ駒はいなかったはずだ。
同時に存在できない人物、そんなのがいるの？私という駒がこのゲーム盤上を訪れるためには存在が許されない駒。
ベアト、
Alright, so here we go. We're figuring out the logic of why those pieces can't exist. Kizer's shitty riddle. Love it. At any rate, Kinzo's epitaph didn't require witty reasoning. It was just childish, self-important wordplay. You needed flexible thinking. You didn't need precise mathematics for these deductions. You attack it with associations, fantasies, and whatever inspiration you could find.
あらあら。私の謎をなぞなぞ遊び呼ばわりですか？大事なことなので。そしてご存知ないでしょうから。この際、赤き真実ではっきりとさせておきましょうね。私、なぞなぞ遊びは大の得意なんですよ。
Okay, alright, so it's a person who's really good at riddles. I mean, we know Shannon was good with riddles. Badler is good at riddles. Ava's good at riddles. Oh, she already has a witch. Oh, wait, hold on. So you were completely immersed in solving riddles, but that's only been for a short period of time, less than 10 years since you met Badler. Okay, so this is when she was young. Unlike you, I'm not a little girl. Okay. Ever since before you were born, I've always loved riddles, and I'm very good at them. I don't know, man. I'm like... It's regrettable I wasn't able to challenge the riddle of the epitaph. Oh, so they weren't around. Oh, if I had challenged the riddle of the epitaph together with you, we surely would have easily solved the childish wordplay that grandfather frantically dreamt up. Okay, wait a minute. So, hold on. This is very important information. Okay, so she's calling him grandfather, but she also says she's not a little girl. She said she wasn't able to challenge the riddle of the epitaph. Okay, I'm thinking more. It's gotta be, and I was struggling to remember her name last episode, Asumu. Badler's mom. Badler's mom was already dead by the time the epitaph happened. So she wouldn't have been around. And didn't they say that Asumu was, actually very clever? Like, she was a very intelligent person? I don't know if they specifically said that she liked riddles, but I could see maybe the reason why Badler was so into, detective novels and mysteries and things like that. Maybe because he got that from his mom. I don't know. I still, maybe I'm not being flexible about my thinking, but at the same time, they said this is a person that's been around for all 8 episodes. And there's been mention of her, but she was never physically there. But does she have to be? Once again, is this a case of, do you have to be flexible about it? Do you have to have a person specifically, have been actually at Rokenjima? I can't get past that. That's the only person I could think of, especially with this information. And she says grandfather. Maybe she just calls him grandfather as I don't know. I know because this was the first time I tried to solve the riddle of the epitaph as the witch of the piece. So she's never seen it before. Whereas all the other people, I solved it so easily. So this is her first time ever encountering because she wasn't around, because she was dead. I don't know. That's my guess. Because all of the other characters were around and probably could have solved the epitaph. It's extremely difficult to solve, and the probability of reaching the correct answer is akin to an astronomical miracle. Solving it revived the witch, and resulted in a great number of sorrowful mistakes, which drastically changed the fate of the Ushirimiya family on Rokenjima. Man, and she called such a cataclysmic riddle child's play, as if she found it easy to answer. That sounds like Erica, though, doesn't it? That sounds like Erica, too. So is that the reason why Beato, Shannon, Canon, they weren't all there? Because she already solved the epitaph, or she would have solved the epitaph. Regret and grief, she couldn't be there? If she had been there, how would have things gone differently? Okay, you're right. That's why Beatrice wouldn't have had to exist.
それを使うことができなかったのが私の一番の罪。バトラ君は猫箱に閉じ込められ、エンジェちゃんは一人孤独な未来に取り残された。
Okay, well, she certainly changed her tune. All from Badler being like, we have to understand the heart. I gave birth to you! I should have given birth earlier. What? Wait, birth to... Everybody would have been... Okay. Wait a minute. Is it maybe... No, it's not Beatrice's mom. Is it Beatrice's... No. No. Is it? Maybe. She gave birth to me? Oh shit, it can't be the mom I'd only seen in portraits. Oh my god, I was off! It can't be that. It's impossible. Because I'm positive my mother escaped from Corridorian with Rosa. Oh my gosh, I totally missed that! And fell off the cliff to her death. That happened right up... Oh my god. Moreover, right after I was born, I was left in Natsui's care. So this is, once again, this is... Hold on! Hold on, this is blowing my mind. So is this the fragment where, like, it could have been Leon? Maybe if the mother had like survived, because then Natsui wouldn't have had. But then again, they would have still kept the mom hidden away. Kinzo would have kept the mom hidden away. I don't know, but okay, we still have quite a bit of time to go. So I don't know. She's my real birth mother. The previous Beatrice, the riddle of the epitaph should have been after the important fork in the road of her destiny. If she really was my mother, she should have said she regretted not raising me herself or not being able to spend time with me in Corridorian. Or something like that. Okay, so maybe not? That's why I don't really feel comfortable with the logic she's my birth parent. Maybe she's talking to Badler. Okay, maybe we're swinging back over to Badler. Except she didn't give birth to Badler. She just thinks that she did. So maybe she's saying, like, if she had been alive, she had been able to go to that family conference and solve the thing, then Yasu wouldn't have had to deal with all of that shit that she dealt with. So he's like, I could have saved you and saved Angie. But then Angie wouldn't have existed. Of course you wouldn't recognize me. Okay, we've got some more information here. You wouldn't recognize me because, even though you know my name, we have never met even once. Gotta be. It has to be. That's a Sumu. I mean, furthermore, I'll say this. Until I became the Witch of the Peace, I did not know your name or even that you existed because she was dead already. Okay, this is pretty big information. Alright, here we go. Now, she didn't meet Beatrice because she wasn't Beatrice at the time. Okay, she is saying that she's met them. The humans. Yes, she met Shannon or Yasu. Okay. Still have a bit of time to go unless there's like a complete different Whiplash answer. Right? So she would have been probably part of the family. Could be one of the servants, but I doubt it. That's why she was willing to kill Kiri and Angie so quickly. Like, get them out of here. They don't exist in my world. Now, Angie wouldn't have existed, I assume, if Asumu was still around, unless, like, you know, he could have still had, like, a... Oh, what is this witch talking about? Like I was saying, if, like, I mean, he was having an affair with Kyrie. So he could have still given, like, she could have still given birth to Angie, but probably unlikely. So it's just like, Angie maybe doesn't even exist, and that's why she had to disappear. I can't tell if she's giving the solution or another mystery. Do you really not know who I am? Hurry up. Isn't what I'm doing right now the verbal equivalent of kicking and screaming? I understood up to that, but then why do I not remember who she is? Oh man, and Badler like talked about her mom. I can't stop crying from the disappointment and frustration. And why would he be upset? Why would he be upset except for the fact he can't remember his mother? And she probably feels forgotten about.
彼女もまた私に会ったことも存在さえも知らなかった。紛れもなくこやつは
Yes, yes.
なのにエンジェの
Come on, we got it. I got it, right?
確かに当時の私はよく病気になって親族会議を休んだそうだけど、でもそれでも私は隠し子なんかじゃない。後宮家の人間なら全員が後宮エンジェの存在を知っていたはず。
Did he just have a realization of who that is? Badler's eyes were wide open. Within his heart, he then was certain he'd found the core of the Witch of Peace's true form. There was no basis for it. There was no evidence for it either. Just his gut, heart reaction. Neither was there puzzle pieces for guessing the culprit's identity, but even so, he was sure of his answer. There's no such mystery where you can be sure of the answer when you can't even form a guess. Therefore, this was fantasy. Otherwise, she couldn't be here. Yep, or exist here. Yep. Yeah. Theato had also noticed Badler seemed to have seen through the identity of the witch. But compared to Badler, she was far away from the answer. Therefore, she needed a piece of reasoning.
こやつが登場するためになぜ誰かが消えねばならんのか。
ベアとたちだけじゃない。俺たちには同時に存在できない人物。
Yeah, right? Angie can't exist at the same time, but Kyrie would still exist, just not within the family.
わからないわ。ベアとのように家具を生み出していた人間が他にいたというの？違う、
そうじゃない。出会うことのできない一人の人間たちじゃないんだ。
Come on, Badler, spit it out. Let me know that I'm correct. Yes. Yes, it wasn't so much that Kyrie would be dead. She just, yeah, they can't both exist there at the same time.
そんな人、私知らない。本当に知らない。
As tears fell from Angie's face into her teacup, she scratched her head in anger over her own weakness, but she still didn't stop thinking. I don't remember her. I want to remember. I need to remember. I want to accept them. As the last survivor of the Ushirmiya family, as the witch of the future, isn't that my sole responsibility?
エンジェちゃん、私はあなたに意地悪をしたくてこの場にわざわざ呼びつけた。私はあなた
Yeah, and that's why she would hold a grudge against Angie.
相入れない駒だから。
But I met you, and I understand now. Your single-mindedness, your clumsiness, but also your straight-lacedness. All that was inherited from your brother. Yeah.
出会えていたらきっと仲良くなれていた。それを確信できた。それだけでも今日ここであなたと会うというありえない奇跡を、ファンタジーを心から感謝する。
まさか。こやつ。
Come on, say it. I'm like Erica, like, I want to be right. Let me know I'm right.
そうだ。彼女は。
エンジちゃん、横島な私はキリエさん
Yep,
だけでな
yep,
く
yep, yep.
あなたにまで復讐をしようとした。でも女のいがみ合いは当事者の2人が揃って棺桶家の中にまで持ち込むのが正解だった。会ったこともないのに彼女の娘というだけの理由であなたを傷つけて自分の心を慰め
Okay, yeah, like at this point, if you don't get it, you gotta get it here.
あなたを呼んでしまったことを私は仮にも人の親として
Oh my god, especially as a human parent myself, yep. Yay!
会ったことないけど写真でしか見たことないけど私知ってる。
There we go, and she finally got there. Yes, I hated you too, just by seeing you smile in a picture. In a family photo without me, Dad, and Oni-chan. We're smiling at the family I didn't know, in a way reserved for family members, which I detested. I wasn't alive then, but I was still jealous. That's right. We couldn't meet due to the wheels of time, and even if we did meet, we wouldn't have been able to stay together. You and I sit on opposite sides of the seesaw, with Dad as the fulcrum. We cannot exist at the same time as family members. Dad's late wife, who passed away before I was born. Okay, because I was like, how much time we got left? A lot? We have like another hour to go. Badler, Angie, and Beato. Since they have already come to a consensus, the answer should already be accepted. And yet, why did Peace, no, Asumu, still want to hear it from Angie's mouth? This was a fantasy about what if Asumu Ujiyomiya had never died and had always been a member of the Ujiyomiya family, a fairy tale. Ujiyomiya? What? So long as Asumu was Rudolph's wife, she was a legitimate member of the family, and thus invited to the family conference. Do we actually get to see what Asumu looks like? Naturally, the family would not recognize Rudolph marrying a second wife. Though only his legal wife, Asumu, would have been invited. We get to see what she looks like, so the fact Asumu existed in this fragment automatically meant Ushiromiya Kyrie could not exist in it. Kyrie herself would exist, but not as an Ushiromiya. She would be Kyrie Sumadera. Therefore, Kyrie Ushiromiya and her existence would vanish. The same can be said for Angie. The reason Badler left the family was Angie's birth date. If you counted backwards from the final month of pregnancy, it was evidence that Kyrie and Rudolph had an affair while Asumu was still alive. If Asumu was still alive and well, Ushiromiya Angie would not exist. Even if she was acknowledged, there's no way Kinzo would allow Angie to be added to the Ushiromiya family registry. Okay, so there we go. It's that whole thing about playing... Yeah, would be playing with the things where it's like... And I said that. Like, Angie could still exist, because if Rudolph carried on the affair, Angie could still be born, but she wouldn't be Angie Ushiromiya. It would be Angie Sumadera. Angie would be an illegitimate child. The existence of Angie Ushiromiya would vanish, and she would have lived as, Angie Sumadera instead. Oh! Okay, so there's that. So she would have solved the epitaph by herself. Yeah. And that's why Beatrice... Right? Yeah, Kyrie, exactly. Yeah, Kyrie absolutely would not have done that. Kyrie would have been like, yep, I won the epitaph, I beat the epitaph, so I get everything for myself. Whereas, like, Asumu would try and help out Yasu. Okay, interesting. I like that we're getting some information, a little bit more, on who Asumu is as a person. She was, like, so rarely mentioned. And that's why Beatrice, Canon, Shannon, they wouldn't have existed. The exact opposite of Kyrie. Kyrie thought with logic, but Asumu thought entirely with inspiration. So while Kyrie was by far the strongest on a problem involving numbers, Asumu had a talent for solving riddles that could not be solved by logic. The riddle of the epitaph was exactly that latter sort of puzzle. No matter how methodical Kyrie was in her reasoning, it would never yield an answer.
そんな私が死なずに生きていて、おじい様がお屋敷に魔女の肖像画と碑文の謎を設置するところにいられたなら、私ならきっと解けていた。それだけでなく、おじい様が誰に解いてほしいと願っているかさえ見抜くことができた。だから私はベアトにすぐに碑文の謎を解かせたはず。そういうファンタジー。
Then again, yeah, I guess if... if
わらわの復活を見届けた時点で
okay,
金
okay,
蔵は
let's...
永眠する。
She could have still become
すなわち
Beatrice.
金蔵はその時点で
Yeah,
すでに
okay, that's
消
why
滅。
his... That's why he wasn't there. His piece wasn't there.
金蔵の死はクラウスおじさんたちの都合で
Okay,
秘密に
yeah.
されるはずよ。実際には死んでいてもあたかも生きているかのように
Yeah, that was the thing. I don't know what I'm talking about. Beato solved the epitaph anyway. So not much would have changed there. She would have still maybe become Beatrice once she discovered the truth about her parentage. I got that messed up. That's right. I was thinking about like, oh yeah, the family solved the epitaph, but that was after Beatrice. She solved it first, so she solved it first anyway. And Asumu would have helped Beato solve the epitaph. So I guess we'll get into why Beatrice and Canon and Shannon wouldn't have existed. Would Asumu have helped her in some way? Would she have listened to her? And then maybe she wouldn't have kind of gone off the deep end?
おふくろ、さすがにこれは少しご都合が過ぎる世界だな。
おとぎ話とは、ファンタジーとは、そういうものでしょ。
エンジ、じい様の死を隠さなければならないのは、クラウスおじさんたちに金銭的な問題があった時だけだ。
その世界ではわらわは絶望の中ででなく、
Okay.
少なくともはるかに穏やかな日常の中に生きている。だから発見された大
Okay, so it does. So things wouldn't have been quite so dire. Gotcha, gotcha. The trigger that tore up Battler and Shannon's relationship. Right. Right. I'm dumb. That's right. I said that. Didn't I say? I think I said that last episode, then I completely forgot that I said that. That's right. Battler would have kept coming, and then Shannon wouldn't have had that breakdown. So that was kind of the trigger for everything, along with finding out about who she is and who fathered her. That also certainly didn't help. Right. However, in this fantasy where Asumu did not die, the two of them could continue their friendship. The seed of unrequited love placed in Shannon's chest, whose root tormented her with pain during several years of hell, was never planted. After that, as Asumu herself said, it was all a fairy tale. So this is like the best case scenario. Oh my gosh, those two grew up healthy. I need to go back and see that again. That's so stinking cute. Oh my gosh, look at them. Aw. Aw. And then suddenly, the riddle of the epitaph appeared in the mansion. Asumu's intuition told her that Kinzo wanted Shannon to perform some sort of miracle. Although he was quiet, Genji was poor at keeping secrets, and with just a couple of questions, Asumu had discerned that this was settling some sort of animosity with his illegitimate child. Nanjo had told Kinzo his years remaining were short, and he should settle his regrets and tell the truth to the girl who didn't even know her own origins. He hoped for a miracle and left it to time to decide, even though the chance of failure was high. Asumu, who was good at puzzles, encouraged the similar mystery-loving Battler and Shannon to attempt and solve the riddle of the epitaph. She watched and guided them so they could arrive at the right answer on their own. In the same year in which the epitaph first appeared, the 20 billion yen of gold had been found by a young boy and girl. Did they live happily ever after together in this world?
エンジェ、こやつに代わりてわらわが言う。何度も言う。これは彼女にとってのファンタジー。
Is this Angie being sad that, like, the family could have survived in this world, and that's why maybe Peace was like, this will hurt Angie. She's like, this is the world where the family didn't die. This is the fragment. Similar to Leon, right? This is the fragment where she could exist. At first, Angie was puzzled as to why Peace and Beato were so apologetically repeating over and over again that this was a fantasy. But little by little, she began to understand that uncomfortable feeling.
そして少女は自分のために幾ばくかのそれでも一個人には十分に莫大な取り分を受け取ると残りのすべてを後宮家の親族たちに分配するのだ。よって親族たちがそれぞれ抱える経済的問題はすべて解決する。金蔵の死を隠蔽しなければならないという茶番も必要ない。いがみ合うことも何もない。
Oh, it's like the Happy Island is the one where Angie didn't exist. Ugh.
そう。恋の種の根に苦しむことはないから島に縛り付けられることも黄金の魔女を気取る必要もない。
Just crazy how just a couple of things can change and change everything. Oh, I was wondering about Genji. That's right. I was like, Genji was the one I hadn't nailed down to be like, okay, so I understand why Kinzo, Kinzo couldn't be there. Beatrice, I had an idea about why her and Shannon and Canon didn't need to exist anymore. Right, because Kinzo is dead. Genji has no. Okay, okay. Beato left the island, so they weren't on the island. Okay. Good for Genji. He deserves it. He's earned it.
私が島を去ると決めた時点で源氏もまた島に縛り付けられるものは
It was almost like, yeah, Kyrie and Angie, like they ruined everything by existing and Asumu dying.
だから1986年のハロウィンパーティーに
I love it. This is like a condensed episode rather than having to wait and dozens and dozens of hours to get the answer. It's just nice and concise.
1986年のハロウィンパーティーという限定された瞬間に後宮アスムが存命しているか否かの異なる2つのかけらの誤差を駒の魔女が相手を存在した事実ごと丸ごと食らうという風に演出することで描いた間違い探しってわけね。そうです。片方は惨劇の猫箱に閉ざされる世界、もう片方はあなたとキリエさんだけを例外として全てを幸せにした世界。ベアとは夢を叶えた。バトラの家の近くに住み同じ学校に通えるという夢を実現した。母親の死とその後のルドルフの結婚に傷つけられないバトラはきっとその奇跡を彼もまた喜んで受け入れるでしょう。なるほどね。本当ならば私たち3人はその答えに至り3人で同意した一つの答えとしてあなたの正体を暴くことになる。ところが私が否定する
She'll deny it.
その答えを。そうでしょう。そうです。あなたを苦しめてやりたかった。答えは出ているのにあなただけが否定するから勝てない。そういうゲームにしてあなたをいじめ抜くつもりでした。
わからねえよ。どうしてそんなことを。おふくろがそんなことをするなんて俺には信じられねえよ。
信じたくないなら信じなくてよい。それもまた愛だ。だが信じなくても理解しろ。一人の愛する人、たった一つの愛をめぐって
I mean, Banterisha, she's like, I know that better than anyone how much one love can destroy everything.
むしろ感謝。お前に今なお人を苦しめることで何がしかの怨念を晴らしたいという気持ちがあるはずがないと信じさせるほどにお前に愛情を注いでくれたことに感謝をしてほしい。
If she had been told Kyria had become Rudolph's wife after her death, there's no way that even a Sumu could have been at peace. For her, a daughter such as Angie was a foreigner in the family she would never want to acknowledge. With that emotion at her core, she was made into an assassin piece. She was the sort of ghost who had a deep-seated hatred for Kyrie and her daughter who had hijacked her family after she died. So even though Angie was not at fault, she tormented her. This is kind of like Ava and Angie, right? It's just like that unnecessary hatred. But you know where it's coming from.
このかけらを認めちまったらエンジはどうなる？居場所がなくなるじゃないか。
私のお母さんが後ろ宮家に嫁いだから惨劇が起こった。後ろ宮アスムのままだったら誰も悲しまなくてよかった。私は生まれてくるべきではなかった。
そんなことはない。それすらも全て内包するのが俺たちの猫箱だろう。そうだとエンジェ、何もそなたが気に病むことなどない。
晩節を汚すどころか死後になって自ら恥をさらすなんて。だからエンジェ、恥じるべきは私であなたじゃない。それにね、あなたには頼もしい兄がいる。そしてここにはどんなかけらであっても受け入れてくれる魔女がいる。あなたはいていいの。いてはいけないのは私の方。
そうね。要はそういうことだわ。私がここにいることを恥じるなんておかしいもの。亡霊のあんたが一番おかしい。その上、自分が生きていたらこんなにも未来は幸せだったのになんて。タラとレバーをつければどんな未来だってでっち上げられる。
そうだからウィッチ・オブ・ザ・ピースなどという邪悪な魔女の駒のことは抱きして心にさえとどめずに忘れ去ってちょうだい。ああ、そうか。そのために私にはこの力があるのね。
バトラー、あやつは
Is she going to swallow up herself so she doesn't exist? The Witch of Peace's hair danced as if it was a curtain in the wind and billowed out in great sheets. She's gonna make herself disappear, right?
あなたたちのその悲しみは今すぐ癒されるから。
A beautiful bundle of hair growing like the branches of a large tree slowly enveloped the body.
私もおかしな人間の駒をやらされたものでピー。まあ短い時間でしたが忘却の深淵で積もった埃をしばし払うことはできましたのでピー。
お役目ご苦労であったぞ。
Oh, Badler. Oh, it's so sad.
そなたの主にはそなたがその役目を見事に果たされたことを必ずや伝えよう。
さよならバトラ君。妹を大切にしてね。女の子はあなたが思っているよりずっと壊れやすいのだから。
おふくろ。
さよならエンジェちゃん。後ろ宮家に一人だけが残って未来をたくましく生きなければならないことがもし運命が 私はその一人があなたでよかったと思う。誰よりも賢くてたくましくて、自分の家族のためにどのような努力も厭わなかった。後ろ宮桐江の血を引く人によかったと思う。こんな情けないなぞなぞが趣味のおばさんの娘じゃ心もとないものね。私、あなたのことをお母さんと呼べることが
Angie, first Ava, now Sumu.
お母さんがあなたが死んだ後にも嫉妬するほどに、あなたがお父さんの素晴らしい伴侶であったことだけは私疑わないから。ありがとう。あなたもお幸せに。それではこれにて閉幕。お相手は私、ビッチオブザピースことピースフルラブリーピースのピースちゃんでした。世界人類のすべてが平和でありますように。
Bang, snap, squish. All right. That's it. Okay, that was really good. So we still have a little bit of time to go, which means there's probably going to be like with all of them, there's going to be like a post game, a tea party or something. That was good. It was like a very condensed version of it, and I'm proud of myself that I figured it out relatively soon into it, but it was still like really touching, and I'm glad that Sumo got a little bit more screen time. It was very touching. All right, looks like we are having a tea party.
あんな退場の仕方をしたのに、割と全力で台無しにして
Seems more like less like the tea party and more like those all staff credit things at the end of Higurashi, because it's like fourth wall breaking.
毎度こういうノリであったぞ。そういえばそうだったわね。日暮らしの頃なんて。
Yeah, Higurashi, exactly. Which we will be starting up again next week.
だから俺もさ、海猫に出ることが決まった時、お疲れ様会があって、さらに
I love this. It's like they haven't really done stuff like this before in this game.
ぶっ飛ばすテンションではっちゃけたるぜって最初は楽しみにしてたんだぜ。
とみんな思ってるところで、背後からぐっさり来るのがここのお家芸でしょうが、本当に甘いわね。ダイエットシュガーの100倍くらい甘いわ。そうそう、ところでピース、あんたの相手を存在した事実ごと丸飲みするって力だけどさ、ガチなの？とおっしゃいまピース。
ガチもマジもないでしょ。あの化け物の駒なんだから。脚本から一人の人物の存在を抹消するなんてお手の物でしょうよ。フェザリーヌは私たちの世界を原稿用紙に書かれたもののように見て、その一文字一文字を鉛筆と消しゴムで好きなように消して好きなように書く力があると聞いたわ。
すげえな。コマもゲーム版も最低限のルールもなしの最強無敵のゲームマスターなんだな。
でもね、過ぎた力が身を滅ぼすこともあるのよ。
どうして？何でもありは何にもなしに通じますでピース。光もささず草木に一本も芽吹かない無音の世界を与えられ、ここなら何の制限も受けずに自由に想像ができるでしょうと言われても困ってしまうものなのでピース。創作ってのはね、実はある程度の指針や制限がある方が芽吹きやすいものなのよ。画用紙に猫を描けと言われたなら、人はどんな猫を描こうかと。
That's a good point, though. Yeah, I feel like you're given guidelines like with the previous games. It's easier to come up with something rather than just like creating something completely from scratch.
なるほどね。確かに何でもいいから描けってのはちょっとやりにくいことだわ。
だよな。大喜利みたいにせめて何かお題が欲しいよな。
そういうことだ。創作の力は制限がなくなればなくなるほどその翼を大きく広げることができる。だがある一線を越えて一切の制限がなくなると、逆に創作の力は萎縮していくのだ。
我が主はその境地に触れられ、ここは意志ある者のたどり着くべきところではないと悟られ、お帰りになられたのでピース。それでねピース、あんたのそのフェザリーヌ譲りの消しゴムパワーなんだけどさ、逆のことはできないわけ？
鉛筆の力ってこと？
違う、そうじゃないわ。丸飲みにして存在した事実ごと消し去る正反対。今までに丸飲みして消し去っていたものを逆に吐き出すってことできないわけ？はあ、考えたこともなかったでピース。
He really does sound like a Pokemon.
ベアトとエンジェとベルンとラムダとピースで6人いるって認識ではいる。
これは興味深いぞ。実は今日はここに7人いて、すでに1人が飲み込まれていてその存在を忘れているというのは大いにあり得ることだな。
Oh, are we doing another mystery right now?
実ははいここにもう一人ゲストがいたのですが、
Oh, okay.
ちょっとうるさい
They were a little noisy. Would that be Erica, perhaps?
やっぱりそうだったのね。怖いわ、これ結構怖いわ。誰なの？誰を飲み込んだの？
だって私たちの記憶からも消え去ってるんでしょ。だったら思い出しようもないわね。
ひょっとするとうまく丸飲みできてなくて、皆様の記憶に少し残ら
Trying
れ
to
てる
think,
かも
what
しれ
other
ない。
witch? Maybe they're just. What if they just threw a witch that we have never even heard of before? Ava Riche? She was a little loud. Oh, a little hint. They're a kid who's pretty skilled with chops. It is. It's Erica. Okay.
お箸？
洋風な世界観にはマッチしないな。
So yeah, they've all completely forgotten about Erica. Poor Erica always gets the raw end.
得意で大好物です。わかった。見るでしょ。
That'd be great if Will showed up again. I was hoping he would show up in the main game, but he didn't.
推理が得意なんてそんな子いたかしら。
Poor Erica to be forgotten by everybody, especially her master. That's gotta sting.
またの名を知的ジャーリー社。
何それ、嫌すぎる最低の2つだね。
疑わしい人物の部屋は一晩中壁に耳をつけて様子を探り、お客として迎えてくれたおやじ
They're all just shit talking her. This is amazing.
それも嵐の中。
Well, they're not really shit talking her, but just like, oh, she just seems like such that sounds like an unpleasant person. Yeah, they are too. Oh, this is hilarious.
ダメだな。そんなキャラが海猫にいたなんて 全然思い出せないぜ。
ラムダデルタ教のことをライバル視していましたでピース。前にちぎれたラムダデルタ教の腕のちぎれた断面をニヤニヤしながらくすぐっていたこともありますでピース。やだ、何それ、超怖い。そんな子がいたの？ここにいたの？
なぜにそんな人物がここに招かれていたのだ。一体誰の友人だったのだ。
I love like the last bit of this game is just to rag on Erica some more. I love Angie. It's just like, oh, they don't need to exist. They don't seem like a very good person.
おや、では吐き出さずにこのまま飲み込んでてもいいの？
That's, oh man.
意義なし、意義なし、意義なし。
まったく同感ね。変態お箸のストーカー探偵なんて別にいなくなっても誰も問題ないんじゃないかしら。ごまと塩を分けて
What a nickname.
って言ったら本当にやっちゃって、他には何かないかないか我が主ってすり寄ってきてしつこいから、こいつ飲み込んでおいてって頼んだんだけれど、うるさい猫も急にいなくなるとそれはそれで物足りないってことが分かったのは面白かったかしら。後で路地裏のゴミ箱の中にでも吐き出しておいてちょうだい。
それではそのようにいたしまピース。ベルンカステルチョ。それでなんだけど、あんた他にも何か飲み込んでたりしないわけ？いいえでピース。本日飲み込ませていただいたのはこの一人だけでピース。
なるほど。ラムダデルタ教はこうおっしゃっているのだな。今宵だけでなく、これまでにも飲み込んで消してきた人物がいるのではないかと。何しろわらわはこのいくつも連なる長大な物語を描く過程でどれほどのコマを生み出してきたかわからぬ。
まあ確かにすっげえ人数が出てくるよな。クローズドサークルのふりをしておきながら毎回登場人物が増えていったんだからな。
その過程で生み出しておきながら一度も出番を与えられずに消しゴムのカスと消えていった者たちが案外いたかもしれぬな。
つまり海猫の鳴く頃にという一連のかけらのオーディションに落ちた人たちってこと？そうそう、いわゆるボツキャラってやつよね。
確かにボツキャラを
That'd be cool if they had like sketches or like character designs for people who never showed up.
ピース教のような御人に存在も許されず飲み込まれてしまったということもあったのだろうか。
ありまピースよ。
いや、海猫のボツキャラいるのかよ。
海猫のボツキャラは未完成の段階で早々に廃棄されることが多いので、しっかりとした姿形があることはあまり多くありませんでピース。ただ全くゼロではありませんでピース。そうですね、せっかくのお疲れ様会。
Oh, cool. So we do get to see it. Or maybe she's just going to describe them, but this is neat.
やりたいと思いまピース。
吐き戻し会。
他に言い方はないの？
I love how literally these reject characters who aren't even finished get to be seen, but not Erica. And everybody's okay with that.
どうせ猫箱イコール妄想のゲロ箱であるからな。もうこの際であるぞ。出し惜しみせずにパーッと行くがよいぞ。
海猫のボツキャラってことは一応ベアトが生み出したわけだろ。
そうであるぞ。つまりはわらわ以外の誰も知らないということだ。吐き出されたらわらわに記憶が戻るということなのか。
記憶がよみがえりましたら、ぜひぜひご説明やご紹介をお願いいたしますてぴん。楽しみなような、ないような。何人くらいいるの？今パッと吐き出せるのは3人くらいだと思いますてぴん。他にもたくさんあるのでしょうが、他は姿も持たぬ設定のみだったり、完全に
This is cool. I love it's just like a representation. It's just like with Feather and erasing things. You know, it's like a writer who comes up with a concept and then erases it out of existence if it ever shows up in the main story. Same with like concepts of characters that never made it.
それでは海猫の鳴く頃に没キャラ3本勝負始まり始まり。
いいみんな。所詮はボツキャラなんだから、あんまり期待しちゃダメだからね。それでは参りますピース。まずは1人目。
Lisa's hair spread out like a curtain billowing in the wind. And just when it became what looked like a large ball. Pop. So that looks like... oh my gosh, I've forgotten his name. I'm so ashamed. I'm so ashamed. You guys know who I'm talking about? The male witch. The goat servant. Ah, this is terrible. I'm terrible about not remembering his name. Beata waved her pipe and the familiar shape of the well-dressed goat-headed servant appeared. This is neat.
人物は顔と体は別々に作るようでピース。なので首は別に描かれているわけでピース。だったら私のこのボディもたまには作り直して、もっともっと魅力的なボディにしてくれたらいいのにね。
だったら私ももっと女の子らしい華奢そうな体がいいわ。
みんなボインボインにしてもら
Ah, boy, Badler. Sometimes I forget. And it's Ronave. I had to look it up because it was driving me nuts.
あんたは股間が膨らんだボディを作ってもらったらいいんじゃない？
Oh, Beto. Angie's like, please don't talk about my brother like this, please.
今度は男の股間をぷくぷく風船にしてやろうぞ。おお、そうだ。服には乳袋ならぬ竿袋をつけておかねばならんな。
モブのボツボディだけでこれだけ盛り上がってもらえて、なんだか嬉しいねピース。それでは2人目に参ります。
Pop.
どういうこと？
Oh, wait. Does she look any different?
どうも、こんにちは。後ろ宮夏日です。思い出したそうそう、夏日ももともとは
Oh, okay. Poor Natsui doesn't get the respect, but I mean, she ended up making it into the game and was a pretty big part of some of these stories.
そうであるぞ。そのまさかであるぞ。そう。わらわたちが夏日と思っておるものは何を
What?
そうこのわらは
Wait,
ベアトリーチェのボツキャ
that is very interesting. I love this. If Bella's like, ew.
夏日おばさんが
Just the idea of like the person that he was like
つまりどういうこと？
ends up kind of loving is turned into his aunt.
私たちが夏日だと思っている彼女はベアトリーチェとして描かれたということ
I really wish more games would do stuff like that. So this is almost like a director's commentary during like a movie.
ベアトリーチェ役として生み出されていたのですかそうなのだミステリアスな感じにならないかなと思って書いたのだ
なるほど。ちょっと髪のウェーブっぽいところが性格のねじくれた感じを表現しているのですね。でも勇敢マダムって感じよね。いたずら大好き天の弱魔女って
Right? And probably like an older too.
それでボツになって忘却の深淵行きのところを夏日役の抜擢で命拾いしたってわけねもし夏日おばさんがベアトだったらすごく落ち着いたしっとりとした話になりそうだわ
ひょっとするとこの海猫も今とは全然違う話になっていたかもしれねえな
確かに今となってはちょっとくらい魔女役をやってみたかったですね
あら面白いじゃない。一回やってみたら。
私がですか面白いではないか何か一つでいいからわらわのセリフをやってみぬか別に一言一句同じでなくとも良いのだぞ夏日風に演じてくれればよい
ではではベアトリーチェ級の膨大なセリフの中から一部を抜粋させていただきましたでです。誰でもお好きなものを
This is like her audition.
これいいじゃないこれにしなさいよ夏日レイアートならともかく夏日おばさんのやんごとない口には朗読であってもさせたくないような腐ったセリフね
もうちょっとまともなのはねえのかよいくらなんでもこれはい
いえやります
Okay, I gotta know which line is it.
魔女風に言えば駒人間風に言えば役者ですどのような役もこなせなければ一人前ではありません
いいガッツだわ。ではどうぞ本邦初公開夏日ベアトリーチェ。
Oh, cool. It doesn't really suit her, but it's still cute that they're doing this.
愛は肉欲なんだよ体を重ねてしか測れねえんだよ男どもお前のメスの匂いに惹かれて群がるウジバエどもなんだよ
I love that even though I can't understand what she's saying, I can hear the struggling in her voice. In cases like this, you already know how you're going to evaluate the performance even before it's finished. Wow, that's pretty good. I'm surprisingly into Natsui's Beato. Really? Okay, well next time we should make a fragment where Natsui's Beato. Maybe it just didn't sound like in my... It sounded like she was very uncomfortable saying that. There's probably a market for it.
精一杯凄んでみたのですがどうだったで
It'd
しょ
be funny if they did like an Umineko where all the characters were swapped in different roles.
まあ
Okay, so she wasn't good.
うやっぱりこんな下品な言葉は
Alright, your guys' opinion. Who do you think of the current, cast would be the best new Beatrice?
夏日にはやはり上品な言葉が似合うぞ
I feel like Jessica would be good because she's blonde and she can be pretty crass at times. And then Angie can be a little scary.
Mairimasu yo.
Alright, who's the third person? Let's see. Or Ava. Ava would be a good, like, not just Ava Riche, but like Ava, like the OG Beatrice. Pop. Oh, it's a dude. Like a whole straight up new dude. Vergilius. A boy. A girl? They gave off an air of youth. That's right, I shouldn't assume it's a boy. Not on the witch's side, judging by the look of their clothing. It's an Ushuramiya. It looks like it wouldn't be strange for them to appear as a relative. I love the idea of like Beatrice sketching these characters.
人を見た目で判断するのは悪いことだが、どうにもなんだか俺とは仲良くなれなさそうな雰囲気だな。
その通りよ。こやつの名はウェルギリアス。登場していたらウェルと呼ばれていたであろうな。
Okay, wait, was this supposed to be the actual... No, because Will wasn't... Yeah, exactly, yeah. That's also true.
確かベアトリーチェの元へ導くものって意味だったな。そうか、元ネタが同じだから似たような名前になったわけか。
まさにその通り。察しが良いな。ね
えベアとこの子喋らないの？
So this person, so Vergilius would be like what Vergilia ended up being?
何しろ2、3の設定とともに立ち絵のラフだけ描いた存在よ。人格も喋り方も。
It's too bad they didn't have more male characters, like younger male characters. There really was only Badler and George.
立ち絵をもらって挨拶もできないの？せっかくだもの。その2、3の設定に適当でいいから何か突っ込んでちょっと彼に喋らせてみなさいよ。
ちょっとと気楽に言われるがな。コマ一つを動かすには十分な設定がだな。
まあまあまあ適当でいいからいいから。私たちも何か適当に混ぜてあげるから。
Are they just gonna have one of them do the voiceover for his character?
Charge complete.
魔女側の困って雰囲気じゃないわよね。
それは俺も思ってたぜ。魔女ならもっと頭のいかれた格好をしてるはずだ。どっちかっていうと人間のように。
Well, Ronave wasn't super flashy, but I guess he was more of like a servant than an actual witch. Human detective, okay. So is he gonna be Erica?
じゃあつまり
She's like, wait, I'm not supposed to remember her name. Oh, okay.
めんどくさいので路地裏のゴミ箱にエリカさんを送ってますね。
The disrespect. It would have been nice to have another male character.
つまりエリカの元キャラと
The same blue hair. But no, they had to have another cute girl character, right?
激戦の末に打ち破られるというドラマのために生み出されたコマだ。だがこやつは少し違う。バトラの敵としての探偵であることは間違いないが、徹底的にミスリードする推理。
Oh, that's too bad. I would have liked to see that too. I like Erica. She's very entertaining. But interesting how things could have been different.
いわば宿命のライバルとして生み出される予定だったのだ。
その初登場はエピソード3になる予定。
My debut.
エピソード2で魔女
My role. Supposed to. Okay.
さらにコテンパンに
What's with the speech? Is that somebody else just like trying to figure out what he would sound like?
なんで関西弁似合ってねえ。 せやかてバトルこれ言わせたかっただけだろだろ真実いつも二つ愛がなければ
I do love the idea of like this dude looks all like prim and proper, and then he just speaks with a Kansai dialect.
ふざけしすぎだ
もともとはエピソード3から登場して以後のレギュラーに加わるバトラの強力な好敵手の男の子としてデザインされたそうでピース。
本当はよアンさんのライバルとしてなブイブイ言わせてるつもりやったんやで
いい加減うざいわね。喋り方普通のに直すわよ。リオンあたりの感じで。
ありがとうございます。
あなた他にはどんな設定があるの？
かなりそのあたりの設定は曖昧なのですが、どうも後ろ宮家の誰かの夏日さんの19年前の隠し子みたいなイメージで親族会議に現れる謎の
Oh.
という感じだったようです。
Hmm.
ああ、エピソード5の
Okay.
19年前の隠し子の設定の大元か。とても冷酷で真実や状況証拠を自分の望むようにパッチワークして自分の望む推理で世界を確定させるというような力があったようです。
なるほど。かなりエリカに近い感じね。こやつの恐ろしいところは自分の望む虚実を真実の切り張りだけで生み出せることだ。一片の嘘も混ぜずにいかなる真実も自在に生み出せる。やっぱりエリカに似てるわね。
I love how they've all just remembered Erica now.
彼がボツになって失われた設定などがエピソード5やエリカに受け継がれたということなのね。
私にはエリカよりも強力そうなキャラに見えるわ。それがエピソード5よりも早いエピソード3で登場の予定だったんでしょ？なんでやめちゃったの？ねえねえ。
実はな、エピソード2でわらわがあんまりにもド派手に暴れてしまったせいでな、ファンタジーが暴力的に優勢になってしまったのだ。
あの当時はいわゆるインターネット掲示板文
I love this. So that kind of people talking in message boards and stuff kind of like changed the trajectory of the story.
なるほど。ベアトが派手に暴れすぎたので魔女に屈服した人が大勢出たということを知ったわけね。うん。それでな、当初のエピソード3ではランド・オブ・ザ・ゴールデン・ウィッチとのタイトルでエピソード2をもはるかに上回るどぎついどっかんばっかんな展開を考えていた。
That was the one with Ava, right? It's hard to keep them all at like track.
読者が混乱してついていけなくなってると気づいたので方針を転換したわけね。
そういうことだ。それでエピソード2で一気に魔女側に傾きすぎたのをエピソード3では逆に人間側に傾くよう手こ入れする必要が生じたというわけだ。それで生まれたのがワルギリアというわけ？
ああ、なるほど。
Okay, that was the one where Vigilia was introduced.
魔女との戦い方をいろいろと
I guess Ava was episode 4? Oh my
名
goodness.
前の大元は同じなのに
Okay.
180度異なるキャラに生まれ変わった。
Interesting that like from him bore like Virgilia and Erica instead of him.
実質的な中身はエピソード5のエリカまでお蔵入りとなる。
エリカもエピソード5以降だと少々かませ犬感があるけど、もしエピソード3で早々と登場していたらサザやバトラを何度もどん底に叩き落とす悪鬼のごとき活躍を見せてくれたでしょうね。
残念ですが致し方ありません。それでも今回
このような形で登場させてもらえたことを光栄に思っています。
喋り方って大事でピスね。最初と全然イメージが違って見えるでピス。
ウェル、お前に少しでも会えてよかったぜ。どこかのかけらでは俺とお前が戦っていたかもな。
そのようなかけらもあったかもしれませんね。ではそのようなかけらでいずれお手合わせを。
だがな、勝つのは俺だぜ。
せやかてバトラー。
それが言いたかっただけかい。
They called up illusions, even if only for a short time. Enjoy the fact that they were able to appear on the game board and then disappear back into the world from where they came, praying for their return.
失礼いたします。皆様方。大アウローラ卿のお茶会の準備が整いました。どうぞこちらへご案内いたします。
さーて、二次会の会場に移るかな。
お兄ちゃん、挨拶考えてきた？指名されてたでしょ？
うわ、やっべ。全然何も考えてね
わらわも何も考えておらぬが、わらわは締めの挨拶担当だからな。それまでにゆっくりと考えておけばよい。
そうはいかねえぞ。いっぱい大騒ぎしてそんな時間は与えねえでやる。俺と一緒にアドリブで苦しもうぜ。
相変わらず仲のよろしいことで。
When Erica moved to open the door, a door appears leading to Featherin's tea party. It was only open a crack, but the sound of hordes of people having fun was overflowing from it.
我が主？どちらへ？
Vern and Lambda slowly stood up from the sofa, but they did not make any pretense of heading towards the next tea party. Only those two looked as if they were slipping out to somewhere else.
あんたたちは先に行ってて。私たちも後で行くから。何かあるんですか？
Vern and Lambda's eyes had a strange glow to them. Earnestly and mysteriously, their eyes shone like those of a child, as if anticipation of something wonderful that's about to happen.
内緒。ちょっと様子を見てくるだけ。泣きそうなのよ。泣く？
Is that like the hint for the next one, Sakonia? Yeah, probably.
何かが。
I like that. There's that little hint, like, hey, something, there's going to be something coming down the pipeline. It's just a shame about what is happening with Sakonia that's kind of been put on hold.
じゃあね、エリカ。後で。次はいい役だといいんだけど。あら、悪役もなかなか楽しいわよ。
This is so cruel. Like, and we don't even know if that story is ever going to be finished.
それとも憎しみ合う役かしら。どっちでもいいわ。またベルンと同じゲームで遊べるのなら。あら、私たちが遊ぶのか遊ばれるのかわからないわよ。すぐにわかるわよ。何かの泣く頃に。
Alright, well, I mean, it seems like there are elements that happen here, but that is where this episode ends, so I guess that is where this playthrough ends as well. That was really fun. I really liked the reveal, even though I had an idea of who it was. It was nice to be proven correct. It was heartwarming to have Asumu have a little bit of a moment. And that tea party was awesome. I loved that kind of behind the scenes, kind of like a director's commentary on it. I love stuff like that. With anything that I enjoy is to kind of see like how things were created, things that may have got scrapped along the way. I'm such a sucker for that stuff. A little sad about the hint of Siconia, knowing that it is kind of like right now to be determined what's going on with that, because otherwise that would have been my next big playthrough. But speaking of playthrough, as I have told you guys before, we are going to be going through the Higurashi Rei arcs. So it's going to be really fun going back to Higurashi because, my goodness, as much as I loved Umineko, like Higurashi, I think for me is just like, I just a little bit more attached to that story, that world, the characters. So it's going to be really fun to get back into the world of Keiichi and Rena and Mion and Sadako and Rika and all of those characters and see what is, waiting for me there. And then after that, I'm going to be playing Fate Stay Night. So we're going to be having some pretty big visual novels down the pipeline. I hope you guys did enjoy my playthrough of read-through of Last Note of the Golden Witch. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned next week for the beginning of Higurashi Rei. Until then, bye guys. Special shoutouts to my top tier patrons: Revealing Storm, Asborn Kennedy, Harry Gazif, iCognito, Jared Fan, Poxy, Joel Oostman, and Zoran Ether.